Hey guys, Teacher Emily here. I promised a 60-day update, so I am here to do that. My daughter is going to be running in and out the whole time, I'm sure. We're looking a little haggard. We've been a little under the weather, but here she is. This is my daughter, Brooklyn. She likes to come into my classroom and play with all of my stuff. So I'm on day 60. Today is day 60, and I just kind of wanted to go over how my bookings have been. They were really low at first, and then they've picked up a little bit, and now they're low again for Chinese New Year. So I just wanted to show you what my schedule looks like. I started with VIPKID on January 6th, and I opened up just a few slots. I got booked on my very first day to open up slots, so I thought I was going to be one of the lucky few that just gets booked automatically and it just takes off from there. All the YouTubers that you see that have just been, super successful right off the bat from the start, and that was not the case for me. So I did teach one class my very first day, and it was a trial, and I have another YouTube video for that, so you can just search for me and you'll see how my first trial class went. So I got one on Saturday, none on Sunday. I didn't really open that many slots, so it wasn't, that big of a deal for me. The next week, let this load, I opened up a few more slots, and I actually had all of these open too, and then all of these as well. I was clicking those 24-hour boxes, and then right before I went to bed, I would just totally unclick the whole thing. So those disappeared because I didn't wait for them to expire. So I had, probably 12 to 15 slots open a day, and I got one class booked that week, and I taught Sophia. She was amazing. So one out of all of those for my second week. My third week, I had almost every single slot open. I had all of these open as well, but like I said, I unclicked the 24-hour boxes before going to bed. I had two classes booked. These were both student no-shows, so I ended up getting ready for these two, and they didn't show up, so that was wasted time. Those were trial classes, so I still got paid half for those, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and at least I was getting booked for some stuff. What are you doing? Are you erasing all my notes? Awesome, we're just gonna wing it. Fantastic. My fourth week did a little bit better. I had many classes opened, and I ended up teaching 5 classes for my fourth week, so I was pretty excited about that. She's playing guitar over here. So 5 classes my first week, all of those showed up, so I did get paid for all of those. I was pretty excited. And then this week we went on vacation. For the latter part, I was unsure of how internet was going to be. I did not want to get a teacher cancellation or a teacher IT, so I just didn't open any slots for that time. And I didn't open very many earlier in the week. Like I said, I did have a lot more slots open than this, but I had those 24-hour boxes checked before I went to bed. I just clicked them off. I had been waking up like once an hour to see if I had classes, that it's just so exhausting. I stopped doing that. So this next week, I woke up Monday night and had like a mini frenzy. So I know that frenzies happen on Sundays. I've never experienced a frenzy. The most I've ever gotten is like one class in a frenzy. But I had a Monday night frenzy where I woke up to like 9 classes booked, and woke up the next night to all these other classes booked. So I was just so excited. Yes, I know. She's excited too. So actually, I saw these before I went to bed one night. I was kind of in the habit of setting my classroom up and making sure my computer wasn't going to update. Yes, honey, I know. You're erasing everything. So I came to check on my computer right before bed, and I had 8 classes booked, 8 or 9 classes. So I was so excited. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I went to tell my husband. He was so excited. None of them were for the next day, so I didn't have to get up early. I still had those 24-hour boxes checked, and Ellie actually ended up being one of those 24-hour bookings. But the rest of these were all booked in advance, so they weren't short notice. I was pretty excited about that. All of them showed up, so I got paid for all of those classes, and I was like, yes, it's finally happening for me. I'm finally getting bookings. Thank goodness. Yeah, I know. Come here. So the following week, things were going okay. We were actually in New Mexico visiting our boss's other ranch, and the internet was kind of spotty. So I taught most of my classes, and then out of the blue, we had been there for a week. I started having some IT issues. And actually, this class right here was with a student that I had already taught. Her name is Little Fish. She's really sweet. And I started having IT problems during her class. So I contacted the firemen. It was on my end. I couldn't do anything about it. The ranch in New Mexico is like literally an hour and a half down a dirt road, like nowhere near any town. It is in the middle of nowhere. So I couldn't have driven anywhere to teach even if I wanted to in the evening. So I ended up canceling my next 2 classes because I wanted the kids to have a chance to get a sub. I wanted them to be able to have class because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to teach them. So I ended up getting 1 teacher IT and 2 teacher cancellations on that day, and it broke my heart. So I didn't have any classes booked for Tuesday and Wednesday, but I did have my slots open. I went ahead and closed all those out because we were still going to be in New Mexico, and I just didn't want to risk getting any more teacher no-shows or teacher ITs. So I panicked, thinking I'll never get another class booked for the rest of my VIPKID career, if you can call it that. So I was panicking a little bit. But lo and behold, we came back to Texas on Thursday with my stable internet connection, and I got a few more classes booked. So I taught these 2. They were great. I actually taught one on Chinese New Year, and I did some little poppers, and we had a good time. It was one of the winter courses, so we just kind of talked about it, and then we talked about Chinese New Year quite a bit as well. And then I have 2 more classes booked for Sunday. And next week is looking pretty slim pickings. I have 1 class booked. I'm hoping to get some more booked. We are going back to New Mexico, but an internet specialist was supposed to be going out to make sure that we had high-speed internet while we were there. So fingers crossed that I can teach some classes next week. So that's just kind of how things are going for me. We're going back to New Mexico on Thursday, which is why my classes start a little bit later because it's an hour time change. So 5 o'clock is really 4 o'clock Texas time, and it just gets to be a little much. If I have my 2 o'clock slot open, then it's really 1 o'clock, and it's a lot. I have an 18-month-old, and it's just a little too much for me. So the following week, I'm going to go back to just teaching mornings during the week and then adding in some evening times. Sorry about that. Adding in some evening times as we go. I usually open up my schedule at least 4 weeks in advance because parents like to look at it and see that they can book you the same times every week. And I do have 4 regulars now that I'm pretty excited about, or not regulars. I've taught them more than 1 time, so I'm considering those to be regulars. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know. It's Chinese New Year. I know that you've heard that a million times. Just be patient. We're all in this together. Even people who have super high full schedules all the time, they're having trouble getting bookings right now because everyone's traveling. So keep your chin up, keep opening those slots, keep checking those 24-hour boxes, and it is going to happen for you. It's going to happen for me. We just have to keep the faith. I did want to say I had 1 referral sign up the first month, so I got a $100 bonus for that. I had 1 sign up this month, so I'm already making $100 from the referral and then about $180 from teaching classes. So my goal in this has been to make about $500 a month for the first 6 months. I wanted to do that and then move up after that. That's so beautiful. And so we'll see how that goes. I haven't reached my goal yet, but we'll see if I get there. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, and take care. Adios.